Go.
Taylor Parrish.
Lot sugar. I'm just a Mexican.
Ricky now.
Our presentation is like a word presentation on wages. The one of the major issues in this article was actually presidency, because Donald Trump has promised a 3.5% growth or higher, and so far he also promised deregulation, leading to stocks soaring. This has, although Democrats like that the economy is growing, they issue for who to blame remains political. Another major point in this article was wage growth, because economists predicted that it would be much higher than it is. In hourly wage growth, it's only grown 0.1%, while in finance industries, it's decreased actually 1%. The third point in this article was full employment. We are at full employment, or we're reaching it, and this will lead to inflation, which will hinder Donald Trump's promise of 3.5% growth rate or higher, because the Reserve will have to raise interest rates. Why we chose it is because obviously as finance majors coming out, we're going to try and negotiate wages, and that's going to be unlikely because of the full employment. It's a lot of competition. Another thing is economists' outlook is very interesting to us because we might want to invest more.
Why it's relevant to us is that the economy is improving greatly as we speak, but job workers are having a hard time looking for people that are qualified for the positions offered to them. And as of lately, the only jobs that have been getting opening have been leisure jobs for department stores and restaurants. It hasn't been really jobs qualified for us, college, fresh out of college. And as she said, wages have only been increasing 0.1%, and that's only in the leisure department. In where we want to get jobs as in offices, they haven't really been increasing because we're at full employment, and because we're not qualified enough with experience, as much experience as they'd like. And the workforce is really tightening, so that really minimizes our ability to really negotiate our wages and negotiate what we want from the company and what the company wants from us. We really just have to take what we're given, and the companies don't really want to pay us as much as we would like, or pay us more than they need to. And getting into the workforce has become more and more difficult, as even though people are quitting their jobs, as the employment rate has dropped from 4.74, unemployment rate has dropped from 4.7 to 4.8. It's still more hard to get jobs up in higher positions.
All right. What we learned, we actually learned a lot, so I'm going to throw a lot of facts and figures your way. So economists insisted that the labor market couldn't possibly get tighter without wage inflation. This wasn't necessarily true, because in January we added more than expected workers, nearly 227,000. Hourly earnings only rose about 0.1%. So the economists' predictions were not actually true. Even though economists actually applied the law of supply and demand, the speculations weren't true. There are a number of variables in the economy that play a role, such as inflation, employment, growth rate, and others that we can't interpret. So you can't always predict exactly what's going to happen. Okay, cool. Which would prevent Trump and his campaign promise to have a growth rate of 3.5% or more. So if there's no wage inflation, the Reserve could hold back on the raising their interest rates, which then will allow the economic growth to continue to accelerate. The 0.1 increase in hourly earnings is both good and bad news. The bad news being that labor workers aren't getting the substantial raise they need for the bills. Another, labor market is getting a smaller portion of the national income, while capital owners their income shares are rising. Good news is that the economy can easily employ more people and allow the market to generate more goods and services without overheating.
to apply this knowledge, and I think we forgot to mention in the beginning of the presentation, but our article is about the lack of wage growth in the U.S. economy. So that being said, I think it's imperative that we save a portion of our income. I think our article really highlights the fact that there's always uncertainty within the economy. And so starting to save now will really ensure that you have a larger nest egg in the future, and you always have to have money put away for the unknown. It's also becoming increasingly difficult for students even to entering the workforce to find jobs. And due to the ever-increasing difficulty graduates are facing when trying to break into the job market, I think it's very important to take advantage of all the resources that we have here at the university, such as joining academic clubs, attending career fairs, going to networking and guest speaker events. And that will definitely increase our chances of getting a job post-graduation. And that is our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.